Good morning from Budapest and welcome to Williams TV. I've got Sergey with me here. Sergey, it's a very hot day here. It's not very. This is more Indian weather than Russian weather. This isn't it? It's a scorching day.
Yeah, it is. I'm not sure it is the best for us. I mean, it's been hot all the weekend, but for sure it's not something we want for the race. It's not something which is the best for our car. It's not something the best for the tire management. So it is going to be a bit of a fight, but it is what it is. It is the same for everybody, and I have to take it as it comes.
Yeah, qualifying yesterday was really tricky conditions, wasn't it? The rain came down and it looked like a bit of a challenge out there. What was it like in the cockpit?
I mean, actually, that was it was a challenge. That was the challenge I was looking for. But it was such a day when you're either hero, either complete opposite. Fortunately, in a way, it played out. We were not the heroes; we were opposite. But and I'm quite disappointed with that because I was looking forward so much to this rain coming to bring this unpredictability. But then, I mean, you saw what happened with the traffic and with the timing. I've been out there on the track doing my quick laps, and in such a way that it plays. We can talk whatever we want about how much we develop the car and so on, but if you, in such conditions, if you're in wrong
Yeah.
time and putting the lap down with some traffic as well, it's never gonna cover it. So
Yeah, sure.
sorry for that.
Listen, it's almost the last day of school term, isn't it? Your first season of F1. It's been a pretty intense season. We've done 12 races in quite a short space of time. Are you looking forward to having a little bit of time away from the paddock and just, recharging mentally more than anything else?
Uh, yes and no. I mean, it's been a tough year, obviously. I mean, it's been a very intense preseason as well. But I mean, at the same time, once you're in the rhythm, I think just keep it going. I mean, for sure there is an advantage and disadvantage, but I wouldn't mind just to keep going, be in the street, and be here, and then we're all doing what we like. So.
Okay. I'm going to go grab your teammate, and good luck for the race today. Let's wander around.
I'll do this first.
You want a drink?
I'll do this first.
Well, we get
Gotta
somebody to get
stay
you a drink.
hydrated. It's gonna be hot
Yeah.
out there.
Well, Annie, I'm sure will sort you out with a drink.
Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, it is a hot one out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you been drinking lots of fluids because it's boiling?
I'm about to now.
You're about to drink
Yeah.
more.
Yes,
but
it will be a hot
But it's all
one
in the
for
week,
sure.
isn't it? You got to build up in the week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of the more physical ones. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Tough it out.
Exactly. Here you go.
Thank you, Annie. Very kind of you.
Very good. Let's talk about today. It's not an easy track to overtake on, is it? But what do you think you can try and do from where you're starting?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a shame what happened yesterday. I think it was a great effort to get into Q2, tricky conditions. Managed to the team managed to do a very good job, I got to grips with the car in those tricky conditions in Q1. And then in Q2, the rain started coming down, and just got on the curb a little bit and lost the car. And unfortunately, we don't have the spare parts to fix the car to start on our grid position. We'll be starting in the back. It'll be a long race ahead. Not a lot of place to overtake,
No.
but we'll see.
And what are you going to get up to in the next couple of weeks? Are you going back to Canada? Are you staying in Europe? What are you going to get up to in the holidays?
Yeah, I'll be in Canada for a few weeks, just taking it easy,
Well,
It's
Canada,
important to
I tell you,
recharge.
summer in Canada is amazing,
It
isn't
is.
it? I've been there to see my wife's family a lot. The weather's amazing,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
go out to the lakes and all of that is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a few weeks by the lake, just
Yeah,
live in the
chilling
dream.
out.
It'll be good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to grab that off you
Alright.
and let you keep drinking and try and find our team boss. There's a lot of people running around the motorhome. I don't know why. They're not doing it very subtly either. They think they're being subtle, but they're really not. Should we knock? Sorry. Oh. Hello. Yes. Sorry.
Are we?
I'm good. How are you? Morning.
I'm all right, thank you.
Sorry, we were live. I did have to open your door because
Yes,
we're
no,
live
that's
and
fine.
waiting.
Sorry, very secret conversations going on in my office.
As always, this is that time of the year, isn't it? Silly season has gotten sillier this year, it seems, all across the paddock.
Yeah, and just not related to drivers either
No.
at the moment. There's a lot of silliness going on.
Yes, yeah. Let's talk about this going into the summer break. The team are staying here for the test
Yes,
this
I know.
coming week, and then there's a little bit of time off. How does it work back at base? I mean, does everyone shut down? Can you maybe explain to the fans at home just why do the summer break happen and how and the implications?
Yeah, so we have this 2-week period in August, and it's a 3-week, and you can choose as a team which of those 3 weeks you want to take your 2 weeks out of. And it's fantastic really for us in our sport because everybody works so hard over the full course of a year. I know everyone else does in every other industry, but it's an intense program that we have. The calendar is pretty full on now with 21 races all around the world, backwards and forwards. And just for the team, the guys that are traveling and the guys back at the factory that are working non-stop, 20 hours a day sometimes to get new parts out. It's an opportunity for everyone just to stop and to reset, take a break, and to spend some valuable time at home with their families, and that's really important.
And for the designers and stuff, because ultimately these guys they're sort of like artists, aren't they? They're creative people who are constantly thinking of new ideas.
Yeah.
Having a little bit of time on a beach somewhere is probably quite good for them.
I think so. And the best thing about it is that we're actually, by law, so to speak, FIA law, our governing bodies law, we aren't actually allowed to work. So we all have to have an out of office on our emails or whatever. We're not allowed to pick up a phone call if we see it's from somebody that could be about work.
Wow.
You aren't allowed to reply to an email, otherwise you're sanctioned and you get a penalty for it.
What happens when your dad calls you?
Yeah, that's okay. That's
Okay.
fine. Dad can call, but he's not allowed to talk about work, which is difficult.
Which is
for my
difficult with
dad.
your dad,
A little
yeah.
bit difficult for Dad. But it's great. I think in this day and age when everybody is so accessible all the time, even when people that don't work in sport or in Formula One in particular on holiday, you're always there on your email obliged, and it's distracting. And people need a work-life balance, and people need to just be able to totally switch off. And this is what this affords us to do. And I can't tell you how rebalancing it is for everybody.
I'm sure you're looking forward to a little bit of family time away from this.
I am. I don't think my brain, though, will be too far from thinking about Williams and our situation and how we're going to get ourselves out of it at the moment, though.
Well, that's good news, though. That's and I think that's the same for everybody, isn't it? You can physically switch off, but I remember Adrian Newey saying to me he'd go on holiday and he'd be sketching these things, just ideas that he's coming up with, and you can't stop.
Because you give your brain a bit of a break for a bit, but then. I know I'm guilty of it. You can't stop. Formula One is all intrusive and it just pervades your entire being, and so you are there. But I always find it's like when I've had 2 glasses of wine, I come up with my better ideas. And it's a bit like that. You're on the sunbed and you're like, actually, that might be a good plan, because you let your brain have a break.
Yeah.
And then you get back to it. You've reset and you come up with better ideas. And Toto Wolff always says to me, when he used to phone me up and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm on the sunbed, I'm so sorry. And he'd be like, no, you have your best ideas on the sun lounger, Claire. And it was like, brilliant, I'll stay here for the rest of the year then.
Very good. Secret to success, everyone get a sun lounger. Listen, thank you very much for joining us on Williams TV, and we will see you in Spa in a month's time.